You look in the mirror, you're not fat, not really. The scale's fine, but you're soft. No shape, no definition, a little pudge that shouldn't be there for someone as lean as you. So you draw the obvious conclusion, you need to lose fat. That's the exact wrong move, and it's about to make everything worse. Here's the truth nobody tells the skinny fat guy. You don't have a fat problem, you have a muscle problem. Skinny fat isn't a real category, it's just what an undermuscled body looks like with a normal amount of fat on it. And if you try to diet your way out, you're going to strip away the little muscle you've got and end up smaller, softer, and more frustrated than when you started. Let me explain. First, what skinny fat actually is. You step on the scale and the number looks healthy. Your body fat isn't even that high. But you look soft anyway, no lines, no shape, a bit of squish on the belly and chest. Here's why. The fat isn't the problem. It's that there's nothing underneath it. Muscle is what gives a body shape, the fullness in the shoulders, the taper, the hardness under the skin. Take that away and even a small amount of fat sits there with nothing to drape over. Soft on top of nothing. That's the whole look. Think of it like a tent. Fat is the canvas, muscle is the poles. A skinny fat guy has a normal canvas and no poles, so it just sags. You don't fix a sagging tent by cutting the canvas smaller. You fix it by putting poles up. But here's what every skinny fat person does instead. They see softness, assume fat, and cut. Diet down, add cardio, shrink, and for a few weeks it feels right, the scale drops. Then they look in the mirror and somehow look worse. Now they're skinny fat but smaller, same softness, less of them, because they attacked the canvas and never touched the poles. And it gets worse because cutting doesn't just fail, it actively costs you. When you diet with barely any muscle to begin with, a big chunk of what you lose is muscle. So you end up with even less of the exact thing you were missing. You've made the muscle problem worse while telling yourself you're fixing a fat problem. Now you're weaker, flatter, and still soft, just in a smaller package. This is why most people stay skinny fat for years. They keep trying to shrink their way into a physique, but you cannot reveal a muscle that isn't there. Cutting reveals muscle. If there's none underneath, all you reveal is bone. You're chipping away at a block of marble that's empty inside. So here's what actually fixes it. You build, you lift, you eat enough to grow, not less food, enough food with plenty of protein and hard progressive resistance training. As muscle fills in, three things happen at once. Your shoulders and chest get fuller, your frame gets wider, and that same small layer of fat now stretches over more surface, so it stops looking like squish and starts looking like shape. You didn't lose the fat, you built something for it to sit on. And here's the best part, the part that makes skinny fat the luckiest starting point in fitness. You're in the perfect position for body recomposition, building muscle and losing fat at the same time. Most people can't do both at once. But when you're a beginner with a bit of extra fat to fuel the process, your body will happily do both. Eat around maintenance calories, keep protein high, train hard 3 or 4 times a week, and over a few months you'll watch fat slowly go while muscle slowly arrives. Same scale weight, completely different body. So stop cutting. Stop running from food like it's the enemy. Your enemy was never the fat, it was the empty frame underneath it. Eat at maintenance, get your protein up, pick a real training program, and progressively add weight or reps every week. Give it 3 to 6 months of actually building instead of shrinking. And one mindset fix, because this is the real trap. Skinny fat guys are terrified of the scale going up. But if you're adding muscle, the number should hold or even climb while you get leaner looking. Judge the mirror and the tape, not the scale. The scale doesn't know the difference between poles and canvas. You do now. You were never too fat, you were just empty underneath. Go build the thing that was missing. Subscribe if you want fitness that actually makes sense.